I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Richard Milhouse Nixon.
Gerald R. Ford.
Jimmy Carter.
Ronald Reagan.
George Herbert Walker Bush.
William Jefferson Clinton.
George Walker Bush.
Barack Hussein Obama.
Do solemnly swear
That I will faithfully execute the office
of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability,
Preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
So help me God.
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 Congratulations, Mr. President. All the best wishes.
Hillary.
I hope she runs.
She's probably as best positioned to be a Democratic nominee in a year with no incumbent president as any recent Democratic nominee has been.
Does she want to do it again after her disappointing loss in the 2008 primaries to Barack Obama?
She's raising a lot of money, and that's very important in presidential politics.
So, really the race is hers if she wants it.
What the Republicans need is a lot of strong candidates. And they need somebody that beats other strong candidates. And who that person is, they have to emerge.
As we continue our survey of likely 2016 presidential candidates, we caught up yesterday with former Florida Governor Jeb Bush.
You know, it's a lot of speculation about him. I occasionally fuel the speculation by saying that I hope he runs.
Your mother, Barbara Bush, famously said that there have been enough Bushes in the White House. She's come around on that, changed her mind. But she did say something that a lot of Americans, quite frankly, are saying to themselves, which is, a Bush or a Clinton, isn't there anyone else out there?
This campaign is going to send a message to the billionaire class. You can't have it all.
I'm running for president of the United States because we have 4 beautiful kids and 7 incredible grandchildren. And I want to make sure that the country we leave them is a nation that we are proud of.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
I am running for President of the United States.
I am proud to announce my candidacy
for President of the United States.
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 President of the United States of America.
Welcome to the first debate night of the 2016 presidential campaign. Here they are: Donald Trump, Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Mike Huckabee,
Dr. Ben Carson, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio,
Rand Paul, Chris Christie, and your very own governor of Ohio, John Kasich.
Let's begin.
We start tonight with you, Dr. Carson. Your critics say that your inexperience shows.
The thing that is probably most important is having a brain.
The last thing the country needs is another Bush in the Oval Office.
I'm my own man.
Mr. Trump, you once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees.
What I say is what I say. Under your watch, New Jersey has undergone 9 credit rating downgrades.
If you think it's bad now, you should have seen it when I got there.
You've consistently said that you want to make abortion illegal, even in cases of rape, incest, or to save the life of the mother. Would you really let a mother die rather than have an abortion?
And I've got a position I think is consistent with many Americans out there.
I've actually taken a position that's bolder than that. We clearly know that that baby inside the mother's womb is a person at the moment of conception.
Questions for the candidates on illegal immigration.
We need to build a wall.
What evidence do you have the Mexican government is sending criminals across the border?
I was at the border last week. Our leaders are stupid, and they send the bad ones over.
People want the wall to be built.
We're going to switch topics now and talk a bit about terror.
The big problem this country has is being politically correct.
ISIS rides around in $1 billion worth of U.S. Humvees.
We have a president unwilling to utter the words radical Islamic terrorism.
I want to collect more records from terrorists, but less records from innocent Americans.
That's a completely ridiculous answer. Listen, Senator, you know, when you're sitting in a subcommittee just blowing hot air about this, you can say things like that.
You fundamentally misunderstand the Bill of Rights. I don't trust President Obama with our records. I know you gave him a big hug, and if you want to give him a big hug again, go right ahead.
That was an interesting exchange. Thank you for that.
You're having a hard time tonight.
All right,
I mean, we're liable to wake up one morning and Donald, if he were president, would have nuked Denmark.
Donald Trump is a phony, a fraud.
This is going to be a disaster for the Republican Party. Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump is facing heavy criticism after calling for a, quote, total and complete ban on Muslims entering the United States.
I think Donald Trump's point is that he just wants to be in the news right now, and he's just going against what everybody else says. And that's just the way it is.
He doesn't represent the Republican Party or its values.
I mean, I don't vote for him. And I approve of some things he says, and I approve of some things he don't say, because he just talks a lot of smack.
Lincoln Chafee, Martin O'Malley, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders of Vermont, Jim Webb of Virginia. Let's begin.
I have a record of working across the political aisle.
There are some things that I have learned to do better in life than others.
Our country today faces a series of unprecedented crises.
I have been very consistent over the course of my entire life.
I believe in a society where all people do well, not just a handful of billionaires.
You're looking at a block of granite when it comes to the issues.
It seems like pretty soft granite, the issue of guns.
Bernie Sanders has a D- voting record from the NRA.
Secretary Clinton, is Bernie Sanders tough enough on guns?
No, not at all. We lose 90 people a day from gun violence.
The NRA gets its way in our Congress.
You have not been in the United States Congress.
Well, maybe that's a healthy thing.
Check it out. And if you...
Secretary Clinton, you are going to be testifying before Congress next week about your emails.
I did say it was a mistake.
The American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Me too. Me too.
I'm withdrawing from any consideration of being the Democratic Party's nominee for the presidency.
I have decided to end my campaign for the president today.
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls.
We ought to recognize that women are not a special interest group. Women are the majority of this nation.
The one guy that had some special interest that I know of that tried to get me to change my views on something that was generous and gave me money was Donald Trump. He wanted casino gambling in Florida.
I didn't want
it. Yes, you did.
Totally false.
You wanted it, and you didn't get it because I was opposed to casino gambling before, during, and after. And that's not, I'm not going to be bought by anybody.
I promise, if I wanted it, I would have gotten it.
No way, man.
Donald Trump said the following about you, quote, "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that, the face of our next president?"
I think she's got a beautiful face, and I think she's a beautiful woman.
A woman whose low poll numbers kept her off the main stage in the first debate, now being called the winner of the second contest.
Your winner is?
Carly Fiorina, by leaps and bounds.
You know, there are so many people out there who said, you know, I hadn't really seen her.
But I hope a lot of American people learned a little bit more about me last night.
Bernie Sanders is an extremely interesting phenomenon.
He has an 80% favorability rating.
Hillary Clinton, she's facing a surprising and potentially strong challenge.
Nearly 10,000 Democrats in Madison, Wisconsin, screaming and shouting.
And in America, we are going to end a corrupt campaign finance system.
Look at this. Look at the crowd. Does the Vermont senator pose a real challenge to Hillary Clinton?
He won 86% of people 18 to 24.
That he is catching up to Hillary Clinton in important primary states.
The old Bernie
has captured the imaginations of some younger Americans.
He does say he wants a revolution.
Our prayers are with the people of France tonight, but that is not enough.
As a former mayor and a former governor, there was never a single day, John, when I went to bed or woke up without realizing that this could happen in our own country.
Together leading the world, this country will rid our planet of this barbarous organization called ISIS.
The fact of the matter is, and let's say it in our debate because you'll never hear this from that immigrant-bashing carnival barker, Donald Trump, net immigration from Mexico last year was 0. Fact check me.
Billionaires are pouring huge sums of money into super PACs. I was sick and tired of Hillary Clinton's email. I am still sick and tired of Hillary Clinton's email.
We have to look at ISIS as the leading threat of an international terror network. It cannot be contained, it must be defeated. But it cannot be an American fight. We will support those who take the fight to ISIS.
I would disagree with Secretary Clinton respectfully on this score. This actually is America's fight.
It's the aptly named Super Tuesday, a rough and tumble night of politics. Voters weighing in loud and clear in the biggest night of the primary season.
Anti-establishment fever very high out there, folks. Trump riding that wave.
He has won the Republican primary in Maryland, in Connecticut, in Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island.
You heard Donald Trump say that for Senator Ted Cruz, it's almost mathematically now impossible for him to get 1237 on that first ballot.
Hillary Clinton will win the Georgia primary on the Democratic side, 117 total delegates at stake.
The Trump camp is extremely happy. They say what really stood out to them, the number of first-time voters and crossover voters that voted for Donald Trump on Super Tuesday.
Donald Trump also projected to win in Virginia and Arkansas. Mrs. Clinton winning decisively overall with a narrow projected win in Massachusetts, but Bernie Sanders winning big in his home state of Vermont.
I'm not so sure that Hillary Clinton is going to get this nomination.
It's amazing to see all the numbers of Sanders supporters who are saying they might vote Trump instead of Hillary.
Yesterday, Americans in 13 states voted in Super Tuesday, making today, my God, what have we done Wednesday? My God, what have we done? 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 What have we done?